The 2017 DTM season is in full swing and the race for the championship title has never been as close as this. 18 drivers, 18 races, 9 circuits, 3 manufacturers. There will only be one champion, however.
DTM is hard.
Very, very close and hard fights.
Feel the roar. That's the way DTM presents itself to the fans both on and off the track. Loud. This smells like racing. The drivers have contested 10 out of 18 races. Who's lived up to expectations and who hasn't? What's been the effect of the new regulations? And who has the best chance of winning the 2017 title? It's time for the final spurt and time for a review of the first half of the season. DTM Road to the Championship now. Thrilling maneuvers, spectacular comebacks, motorsport in its purest form. The DTM opener at the Hockenheim Ring was packed with action.
The spectators and fans have seen great races, and I think we're looking forward to the season.
A patchy start for reigning champion Marco Wittmann. Only P10 on Saturday, but on Sunday he advanced from P17 to P3 in tough conditions.
For sure I not expected such many points. At the end with P3 I'm really happy. It feels, to be honest, like a win for me.
Audi driver Mike Rockenfeller fashioned a similar comeback on Saturday. Starting from P16, he posted a podium finish for the first time since 2015, thanks to a superb performance.
We had a really good strategy. We risked everything to come in early. Then we were lucky that some other drivers had problems or crashes, so obviously we take advantage out of that.
After joining Mercedes from Audi, Eduardo Mortara finished 4th in the first race, but a mistake cost him a podium finish on Sunday.
It was starting to rain like pretty hard and pretty a lot in the first turn, and I went in like too fast, spun, and from then on, you know, it was race over.
Mortara finished at the back of the field, whereas Jamie Greene clinched his 14th DTM triumph on Sunday. Saturday was disastrous for the Audi driver, and he made a mistake during the restart in Sunday's race. He received a 5-second penalty, but prevailed all the same. Lucas Auer was the man of the weekend. He finished 4th on Sunday, building on his strong display in race 1. He wrapped up his first victory this season after a hard battle against Timo Glock.
Actually my toughest race win I ever had. First seemed incredible pace, could manage everything. And after the pit stop I felt not in a perfect rhythm and didn't feel so confident.
All 3 manufacturers featured on the first 2 podiums this year. The 2017 DTM season guarantees thrilling action. The season opener is also a first in terms of the new DTM regulations. From a technological point of view, the engines are more powerful, aerodynamics are reduced and the DRS has been redefined. But the main factor is the new tyres. More grip means more top speed, but also more tyre wear.
The way they behave is actually quite a lot different than last year's, and obviously the drivers, also engineers with the setup, need to find solutions in order for us, you know, to be confident with the cars, and that's not easy.
Softer tyres, harder battles, clever tyre management is the key to success. The abolition of the time frame for the mandatory pit stop means new tactical options. The DTM has become even more thrilling.
That brings the spice and the racing is more spectacular. We have more close fights. We have the possibility after a not so good qualifying to do a really good race with strategy and good race pace and tyre treatment.
In addition, tyre warmers are prohibited this season, which leads to new challenges for all the drivers.
We always had tyre warmers, and this is the first year without tyre warmers, so when you drive with the car without the tyre warmers, for sure it's out of the pits in the race, you know, when you're fighting other cars, it's not easy.
Rejoining the race with cold tyres, a clever innovation leading to more manoeuvres and more action both on and off the track. Besides the technical regulations, the new sporting regulations have stood the test. For example, the so-called Indianapolis Restart.
Great change basically from the old rules, because basically we you keep the field together. You have a really close field to approach the first corner after the restart. I think that's pretty cool for the spectators, and it just makes the racing more unpredictable and more exciting.
Both races in a weekend feature the same distance this year, with points already up for grabs in qualifying. It can't get any more thrilling. The DTM has never been as attractive thanks to the new regulations. Lucas Auer dominated the start of the season, even though things didn't go perfectly at the Lausitz-Ring. After a clear-cut lights to flag victory on Saturday, he only finished 10th on Sunday. Damage limitation after a disastrous qualifying session and P15 on the starting grid. His fellow Mercedes driver Robert Wickens took the most points, P2 and P3, after what was, from his point of view, a poor opener.
Fortunately, I got my season started this weekend instead of in Hockenheim with scoring no points in Hockenheim, but yeah, really happy with the podium. Quality's been good, the whole weekend's been fantastic.
The second race weekend was quite similar. After triumphs for Auer and Greene in Hockenheim, the two topped the podium again at the Lausitz-Ring. Audi's Jamie Greene winning on Sunday.
Playing the long game, the Audi works really well on the, was really easy on the tyres, and that's what I could use to my advantage today.
Two other Audi drivers had reason to celebrate. Rene Rast finished third in race one, a sensational result and his maiden DTM podium finish in his 6th race. I was always hoping I'd be part of the DTM and make it to the podium one day. Today's the day and the feeling is gigantic. Brandenburg was a disaster for BMW. Maxime Martin was the best BMW driver, finishing 4th on Saturday, the only Munich driver to take points. On Sunday, the Belgian finished 8th after starting from P5.
It was really for us a bit of a struggle to keep the tire properly in the window, and this in traffic we didn't manage well today.
Mercedes set the benchmark, topping both the teams and the manufacturer's standings. A Mercedes driver was the overall leader after the 2 races, Lucas Auer. Lucas Auer visits the Tyrolean Alps between the demanding race weekends. Born here in 1994, his home has been of great importance to him to this day.
Just feel very confident here, and all my friends and family here, so that's enough.
It's Lucas Auer's haven. Whenever possible, he returns home on the few free days between DTM races.
It's incredible here, the mountains, the view. Sometimes I come up here with some friends and have a coffee or whatever. And also for sport, for running and everything, is just wonderful here, and I enjoy it, and it's like getting the last power for the race.
In his 3rd DTM year, Lucas Auer is one of the series' top drivers. The most emotional moment of his career came at the Lausitz-Ring in 2016. At the age of 21, Auer won his first race, clinching his very first DTM trophy.
There are some special trophies, but because I put so much hard work in it, it is definitely my first DTM victory at Lausitz-Ring last year.
He's wrapped up 2 more trophies so far this year, topping the podium in Hockenheim and again at the Lausitz-Ring. Lucas Auer has demonstrated that he's quick, and in an impressive manner too. But is he really one of the title contenders?
I think before the last 2 races you can't look on the championship. And even if it sounds a bit boring, but it's actually quite difficult to go race by race, point for point, lap for lap. But this is my goal and this is my mindset.
Conscientious and concise, Lucas Auer has worked his way up to the top with meticulous preparation and total focus.
I did a lot of detail work. It was actually really hard work. I tried to push as hard as I could, and yeah, hard work pays off.
But despite all the modesty, he has a chance of winning the title. It would make Lucas Auer the 2nd youngest champion in DTM history. Only Pascal Wehrlein would have been younger. It's up to Auer now. He certainly works under ideal conditions. Rene Rast was the main man on the 3rd DTM weekend. 2 poles, 2 chances of clinching the first DTM victory in his career. And on Sunday, the rookie topped the podium.
Target was always to be in DTM and to win a race someday, and this day has come today, and even I'm leading the championship, which is even more unreal.
One of the main topics after Saturday's race was Jamie Greene's disqualification. The Audi driver finished 7th, but the team had illegally sealed a gap in his front diffuser.
Yeah, I heard that Mercedes appealed something on my car. Obviously, I'm the driver. I don't prepare the car. So yeah, I just focus on my job.
He lost 6 points and consequently the overall lead. The disqualification meant he was lying 3rd at that point. A safety car period caused by BMW driver Maxime Martin proved decisive in Saturday's race. He stopped his car on the track after a collision at the start. Did he do it intentionally? He was accused of exactly that. His move helped BMW drivers Glock and Spengler score podium finishes despite starting from P14 and P17.
The brakes were just locked, and this caused a safety car. Is obviously then something which then pushed our 2 guys to the front and onto the podium, but that was pure luck, racer's luck.
A setback for Audi on Saturday. 5 men from Ingolstadt wrapped up the top 5 positions on the starting grid, but at the end of the day, Mike Rockenfeller was the best Audi driver, finishing 4th. Mercedes sealed a triumph after an extraordinary race on Saturday. Starting from P13, Paul de Resta topped the podium thanks to an early pit stop.
You have to be lucky sometimes in DTM. I've been unlucky most of the year and lost a lot of points, but today the safety car came out at exactly the right time.
Lucas Auer, top of the overall standings before the weekend, had a setback too. He retired on Sunday, failing to take points in Budapest. The new overall leader, Rene Rast, a rookie, as the man of the moment. He is the high flyer this season. Rene Rast, a DTM rookie at 30 years of age.
It is very unusual. I'm one of the oldies, let's say this way. Some years ago, with 25, you were on the limit to get into DTM.
The German has been collecting silverware since 2005. The VW Polo Cup, multiple Porsche Carrera Cup and Porsche Super Cup titles. He won the ADAC GT Masters title in 2014. However, the rookie doesn't have high expectations for his debut season.
There is actually for me no pressure. I'm still in my rookie season and no one is actually expecting me to win the championship in the outright year, even though it would be obviously very nice. I'm really relaxed and really sit back and just try to maximize every weekend.
Kelvin van der Linde and Kevin Estre have encountered Rene Rast again and again during their careers. Van der Linde was his GT Masters partner when he won the title. Kevin Estre was his rival in the race for the Porsche Super Cup title.
If it's in GT3, in a cup car, in a prototype, he's been quick everywhere and he has a lot of experience in different kind of cars, and I think it helps him as well in DTM to adapt really quickly.
He looks very easygoing and, you know, but behind the scenes when the doors are closed, he's working and he's doing everything he can to prepare and to analyze everything. I think that's what's the most key strength for him, because people can't really figure him out.
Rene Rast drives go-karts in his free time, which demonstrates that he has found his calling.
I'm one of the drivers in DTM and enjoying the race driving life. You know, you have a good company car, you're always traveling a lot, you have some good competition on the weekend, and yeah, it's one of the childhood dreams for sure.
Dream job, race driver. Dream job, DTM driver. But no dream is perfect without a title. Rene Rast is still humble in this regard, but another dream would come true for him if he hoists the DTM Championship trophy at the Hockenheim Ring in October. The Norris Ring saw the most spectacular moment of the season so far. On Sunday, Gary Paffett lost control over his car, hitting Mike Rockenfeller's Audi at high speed. It seemed like a miracle that both were able to leave their cars without help.
Are you okay?
It hurt, but I think I'm okay. That hurt, but I think I'm okay.
The race continued after a 30-minute interruption. BMW driver Maxime Martin crowned a strong weekend, clinching the third triumph of his career and BMW's 75th DTM success.
It's just an amazing day, and now it's time to party. After Budapest P3, yesterday P2, today P1, 3, 2, 1, here we go.
But the battle for P3 was the most thrilling for the fans. Eduardo Mortara beat his pursuers to the podium by no more than 0.02 of a second, but only because Marco Wittmann and Matias Eckstrom fought on the last lap.
He feels like he's a king on the track, which he isn't.
I lost my third place, so it's a bit a shame, but that's how it is when everybody wants every point.
Eckstrom finished fourth, but thanks to P3 on Saturday, he passed a disappointed Rene Rast for the overall lead. BMW made an impressive comeback, taking 124 points, more than Audi and Mercedes combined. 5 men from Munich were in the top 6 in race 1, Spengler sealing the triumph, and the first BMW victory at the Norris Ring in 25 years.
It's a great result for everyone, for BMW, for RBM, for just everyone, so it's great.
A strong comeback by BMW, but the race weekend at the Norris Ring will be remembered for this severe crash. Paffett sustained bruises to his ribs and collarbone. Rockenfeller a broken metatarsal. And nothing more than that, thanks to the high safety standards in the DTM. The 2017 DTM season has been spectacular so far, both on and off the track. The fans enjoy autograph sessions with the drivers and the new fan village with relaxing areas and food trucks.
Sehr, sehr cool. Also ich finde es auch mit diesen
Very cool. These food trucks and the selection of food are very cool. It has a lot to offer. The whole atmosphere and the comfortable seats here are wonderful. The pit view offers special insights. You're almost tempted to work on the cars yourselves. The fans are in the thick of it. I saw the Audi teams set off. It was cool, loud, it was fun. It smelled like motorsport. It's cool to see what the mechanics are doing with the cars. You're even closer here. And some of the drivers visited the fans at the campsite as a special surprise. The DTM stars up close and personal.
These are our real fans, and they come here to be here for the whole weekend, and I think that's a commitment to the sport and to the event.
The DTM really is great fun at the moment, both on and off the track. Marco Wittmann is the reigning DTM champion, but things weren't going perfectly for the man from Fürth. No victory so far this term. His record after 4 weekends, an average of only 5.75 points per race.
Everybody's expecting maybe a good result from you and expecting it to defend the title, which is also, of course, my aim. I mean, if you win a championship, you don't want to finish second or third the year after.
He improved, slowly but surely, finishing 4th and 5th at the Norris Ring. Was he too relaxed at the beginning due to his 2 championship titles?
It's actually the same approach, same way how you enter a season. And over the winter you prepare yourself, especially with a team, to analyze some data, some performance stuff from 2016, for example.
Marco Wittmann does a lot of sport between the races. Staying fit is an absolute must for a DTM champion. And squash isn't enough.
I'm also a guy who enjoys to be outside training with the fresh air. Of course, you need to train also sometimes in the gym for the strength stuff, like for the arms, legs, but also for the neck.
Working up a sweat before unwinding, preferably at home.
It's quite important, especially after race weekends, after some events, to come back home, to have some relaxation, to recharge your batteries. It's always great to be at home, just enjoying the life.
His fans hope Marco Wittmann will soon feel at home again in his DTM car. Full throttle for the rest of the season, and maybe he'll top the standings at the end of the season once again. This man was the center of attention in Moscow on Saturday. Mike Rockenfeller gets into his DTM car with a broken foot. A special shoe and the use of only one foot made it possible. And Rockenfeller turned in a sensational display, making it to the podium in race 1 despite his handicap.
Anscheinend haben wir es gut hingekriegt.
Apparently, we managed to make up for it. The track suits me. I was able to gear myself up. But to be sure, it's not exactly an advantage to drive with a broken foot. Another man's triumph was almost overshadowed after the maiden win in Budapest. Rene Rast notched up his second DTM victory. The car and the pit stop were very good. You couldn't wish for a better day. The overall lead too. What more could you want? Many battles and airborne carbon fiber parts were characteristic of race 9. The end of lap 3 is a good example. Rockenfeller fighting Augusto Farfus with everything he's got. That could have gone very wrong.
He pushed me out of track at 260, and yeah, it cost my race, unfortunately. And yeah, I'm very sad because those things in this level of championship should not happen.
The maneuver was completely unnecessary and also for me unsporty, dangerous. Penalty not justified, that should have been punished more.
Rockenfeller was cautioned, whereas Farfus retired. The next surprise followed on Sunday. Mauro Engel wrapped up his maiden DTM victory in his 52nd DTM race.
I'm over the moon, and thank you to the team for, first of all, obviously a risky but an awesome strategy. For sure we were lucky with the safety car, but we played a little bit on that. We knew we had a quick race car and a long one, which could go very long on the tires, and yeah, it was a long race in the end.
The last few laps were a real test for Mauro Engel. Nico Müller, the only driver who had yet to make his pit stop, slowed down the field, whereas another Audi driver shook up the top 10, advancing to P2. Just one more lap and the winner would likely have been Matias Eckstrom. Taken all together, he has been the fastest driver so far this year. Matias Eckstrom, overall leader at the midpoint of the DTM season. But his pace is also needed off the track, because driving is only part of his job.
Probably 1/3 of my time is press and media work, 1/3 is engineering, and 1/3 we are allowed to focus on racing and a couple of minutes before and after.
Gymnastics early in the morning are essential. Even after 17 years in the DTM, stay supple. Not only physically, but also mentally, reinterpreting insights gained in the training sessions if necessary, along with his engineers. Eckstrom's strength, consistency. The Swede has almost always been among the top drivers in qualifying, and his motto is simple.
Qualifying is just trying to put everything what you learned so far over a weekend together in one lap.
Even more important in the competition with the many young and intrepid drivers, his experience and composure. Sponsor appointments and fan campaigns, sideshows, but still part of the job. Switching focus is easy for the Swede. He's fully focused on what really counts as soon as he's on the track. No distraction, no rituals.
Not necessary. I mean, I try to take minimum effort just to be as relaxed and save the energy for the driving.
3 of his qualities make his competitors nervous. His tyre management, his clever tactics, and his refusal to yield in battles. But his composure is his trump card, the ability to cope with what's happened and forget about it.
I try to relax the same way every day, because it doesn't really help if you're too tense in life and being frustrated sometimes, yes, but then it's good to have a family, to call the kids and say hello and see how they are.
Balm for the soul and the not-so-young body. For a driver and 2-time DTM champion who always gives it everything while staying calm. The final spurt is on. Crunch time. 4 weekends and 8 races to go. The remaining races. Zandvoort. In the last 17 years, only 2 drivers have been able to win here in the year that they clinched the championship title. Gary Paffett achieved it in 2005. Matias Eckstrom the year before when he sealed his first title. The Swede has won a total of 4 races in the Dunes, most recently in 2014. He's the most successful active driver when it comes to Zandvoort. The other venues, the Nürburgring, Spielberg, and the finale in Hockenheim. Who will clinch the title? Old hand Matias Eckstrom boasting 17 years in the DTM, which he might crown by sealing his 3rd title. Eckstrom is the leader, but the rest are chasing him down. Only 1 point short of Eckstrom, Rene Rast. Will the best driver in qualifying wrap up the title in his maiden season?
I think we have the capability of, doing as well great things for the next 4 races.
Overall 3rd, Lucas Auer, 14 points short of Eckstrom. He could become the 2nd youngest champion in the DTM's history.
I'm in my 3rd year. We have seen this a lot with young drivers who are coming from Formula 3. They need 3-4 years and then they are ready to show something big.
Or will Marco Wittmann defend his title?
I'm not giving up. The season is still long.
Everything is very much up for grabs in the final spurt of the 2017 DTM season.